ONIC PH, one of the few teams that actually survived the roster changes from Season 4. So they're the ones who really stuck it together, going up against a team that's relatively new.
Yeah. As we now head into the draft, I think some of the stuff that we have talked about appeared now in the draft scene, as Natalia has been banned. A very important hero for Blacklist International. There's the link that we talked about as well during the discussion. But this is something, Popoli Kupa, the new hero in town, now available, automatically banned by Blacklist International. I want to see this hero today. Hopefully we get to see him. But at least for game number 1, we won't. Now, Swirly, Leo, Kaja opening for ONIC PH, Thams, Claude opening for Blacklist International. What can you say?
Carry.
I find it really surprising that Kaja has such a low win rate. Because she's
picking.
It's a hero that has so much potential in fights, but seeing that the teams, they know how to play against that divine judgment. So it's not as effective as it used to be in seasons past. So I guess that's why the hero is having such a horrible season. I find it interesting.
I think the reason why is because halfway through the season, at least during the break, that's when the suppression patch happened. So back then, when people were letting Kaja through, it was a gamble because people could still purify or Time's Journey away the divine judgment. But now, I think we'll start to see this win rate rise up, especially with players like Fuzaken picking it up, and even Jay, who's been benched for this matchup. So it's now the oh my Fuzaken connection in mid. But yeah, the Kaja, the Kaja situation here, I think it's on the up and up.
Okay. We're going to see some additional picks here. Farsa from ONIC PH. I think that this is more than likely an Oh My Venus hero. And no Jade this time. It's Fuzaken, Oh My Venus combination. Blacklist International, however, going to go back to the Kufra. I'm not seeing Honda playing right now, but of course, Dexstar and Edward, the support duo this time for Blacklist International, is going to pick it up. A very quick discussion. Guys, I'm actually... I want to say that Blacklist International kind of is similar with ONIC PH, the way they utilize their 6-man. And this is going to be an interesting battle. You know what? Game 1, we are going to see... might be a totally different support duo for both teams come game 2. Nevertheless, there's the Jawhead ban and the Selena ban. Swirly, we're talking a lot about the Jawhead, but Blacklist International, they banned it out themselves. What do you think? Are they gonna pick with it?
Looking at ONIC PH right now, they need the bruisers. They don't have the bodyguard right now for the carry. So Jawhead is a hero they just didn't want to deal with. But ONIC PH, going back to the Balmond once again. Okay, I thought they were hovering it in the first phase of the draft, and they hovered it again. So I was thinking they really wanted to pick that Balmond, but they're not gonna go for it this time. But yeah, I said they needed a couple of bruisers, and those two are definitely bruisers in every sense of the word. Show and Esmeralda, a nice way to round up the draft for ONIC PH right there. The Blacklist International, this is gonna be a support Kagura, right? This is gonna be a support Kagura.
Yes.
Well,
could be.
Yeah, most mages these days are supports, and if they're not supports, they're offlaners, just like the way Esmeralda is playing here. If there's something that I can say about ONIC PH's lineup, is it's solid. I like it. I can already see who the offlaners are, Dilar and Iaknu, and they have a lot of solid, like, targeted damage, save for Venus. Definitely, so that's going to be a lethal Farsa. On the other end, though, Blacklist International here, bringing in the Kagura, which we haven't seen in a while, especially in Season 5, as well as the Hellcurt. What's going on with the Hellcurt? What are they trying to shut down here? Are they targeting Venus, specifically?
I think they just want the silence, because the Natalia was taken out earlier, and Hellcurt does have that silence. So it's a pseudo Natalia in that sense, just so they find that pick off in the backline. Makes Farsa feel scared as well. But in terms of if that was a Natalia, it would have been so much better. Right now, that Hellcurt, I'm not too convinced. I see the mentality in needing that silence, but the draft for me, Blacklist International, it's just so hard to execute. You have the support Kagura, you have the Hellcurt, which hasn't been really favored in this season at all, and you have a much more stable draft on the side of ONIC PH. So I've gotta say, this is an ONIC PH Game 1 draft all the way.
Yeah, very quickly, Leo, I want to know your predictions. No explanation. Who do you think is going to win?
I think it's ONIC PH. I don't like the Kagura.
All right, ONIC PH unanimous here from the panel. As I also vote for ONIC PH side, I think we have to pass it on to our casters for game number 1. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, Wolf and the gang there from the panel desk. And we will be your casters for the game 1 here. And match 1 for the day, ONIC PH versus BLACKLIST International. I'm Rockhart. Alongside me, Saya, how are you doing today?
Here, so cold, but you know, it's still pretty exciting because I kind of had the opportunity to write down our drafts right here, and it's pretty amazing. It seems a little iffy. I get the mentality with the Hellcurt pick, but in all throughout, to me, I think it's not. It usually in overall drafts, it's kind of like creating a recipe, but seeing this Hellcurt pick, it doesn't really blend with the other chosen characters of BLACKLIST International. So you already know by now who I'm gonna choose, Rockhart. I'm gonna choose ONIC PH on this one.
Absolutely, and you know what? I don't blame you. Easy to execute, and a lot of comfort picks here coming from the guys in yellow. It's going to be ONIC PH versus BLACKLIST International with a composition that looks like it really wants to go in your face and really just, you know, snowball into a huge death ball composition. But will that happen? Let's find out here into game 1. I'm very excited to see actually who's again here on the Kaja. I haven't seen him in Zero for a while now. And Riddler on a very uncanny Hellcurt, which, I don't know, maybe they're reading that this might be a 1-3-1 composition here, coming obviously from ONIC PH. They really love that composition. 3 people in the mid lane with 2 heroes just following this carry all day long. They maybe want to use Dark Knight Falls to destroy that composition and try to find the carry. And maybe in BLACKLIST's mind, they're thinking, you know what, when we shut down this carry, this is probably going to be it. That's probably our win condition. Let's go for a Hellcurt, even though I would agree it does seem a little off for me.
See, and that is what we are seeing right now. The uncanniness of that Hellcurt pick. You have to take note that in choosing a Hellcurt, it also has to scale and form. Having that Claude and, you know, the Kagura as well, it kind of gives you the greediness. And speaking of greediness, that is the thing. BLACKLIST though managed still to get a pick off for themselves, you know, really utilizing the numbers on their hands. But going back to what I said earlier, it's still a little iffy because there are 3 members of BLACKLIST that you have to take into consideration in terms of scaling. But you know what? I think BLACKLIST here is doing a pretty good pace in terms of doing it. So, like, really big minions right now so that it really put the Esmeralda on a position where he has the tower hug. But going here for the side of ONIC PH, I think they would retaliate the loss by going onto the top side.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously going to be a very easy tower take. No way the Hellcurt can defend that. ONIC PH, they know what's up. They can see 3 members on the bottom lane that are taking it. It's going to be a straight-up trade. But as we said, this is going to be a little bit of an iffy composition. I mean, Leo himself said he didn't like... Oh my god, look at that. Great pick up on the Kaja there. Divine Judgment on the proper target, but he will go down in respect right now. Oh my, Venus already used up Feathered Airstrike. Going ham on the nuke button, but the Kagura, that again has been pretty hardly dissed, is now taking another kill there for BLACKLIST International. So far, 3-1 against ONIC PH.
Yes, indeed. And I like it that Fusaken was able to utilize his Flicker in Divine Judgment out to really pull one of the members of BLACKLIST International. But this is the thing. If you saw earlier into this replay that we have right now, okay, Esmeralda goes for the pickoff, but then leaves a member, rather, into a pinch wherein they managed to get that pickoff. And of course, Oh My Venus, knowing that they're clumped together, sides to go. But then again, BLACKLIST was able to retaliate this by just picking off one by one the low HP members of ONIC.
Yeah, and it really does work out well. This Farsa has a very low base HP, which is a very easy target as long as you can find him off guard in position. Fuzakin at the Kaja as well is not really that tanky. Their front line is going to be primarily Esmeralda, so that Kaja really ripe for the taking. And Blacklist International, they know this, and they went for it straight away with great rewards. And right now,
Indeed,
itemization looking real good here.
Indeed. And you know what? This is also the perks of having a very iffy composition as well for Blacklist International. The fact that these specific heroes aren't used specifically for week 5, it also opens an opportunity of various strategies that weren't able to come into play. And we are looking at a very domino effect right here. Okay, we have the Divine Judgment. Yaki will be forced to go back, and the Blazing Duet is gonna be forced to really get that pick off. Beautiful execution from Aqua right there, really pinning down the Esmeralda earlier. But like what I said, that was a partnered effect when Blacklist International was able to get the bottom side, and the other top, ONIC was the one who got it as well. But still, it isn't siding for the Blacklist International though, since they have more pickoffs. And in terms of gold, ONIC PH was able to catch up.
Yeah, I mean, way ahead here. They're utilizing the time that Blacklist International is looking for kills to get other advantages on the map, such as, again, all these small minions around the map, all the turtles, all of the crabs that are spawning, basically for ONIC PH right now. That goal lead is not showing the kill screen any justice. Speaking of objective, going at it right away, ONIC PH stolen by the Kagura. Edward looking real good here so far. I think you heard all the comments here from everyone. And again, this is unorthodox. I wouldn't say if you're unorthodox right now though. Oh, look at that! And Dexstar will be suffering a lot of damage, and fortunately will still be alive. Looks like Edward is gonna be the one to go down instead.
Indeed, that was a beautiful flame shot by the Kagura. They're really on a timely manner to get the objectives right. But you know what? ONIC PH also has a say on this and is now showing progress. Is now really showing online, because come the mid game, this is where we see that the Farsa carry and the Cho is going to be used at full potential. Because initially in our skirmishes fights, if you notice that ONIC PH wasn't that complete, making Blacklist International have the opportunity to get these fights. And speaking of opportunity, that beautiful Divine Judgment flicker by Fuzaken, but was not able to really pin it out, but is enough to really force the Hellcurt to use his darkness right there, just so he could go and escape.
Yeah, perfectly executed Dark Knight Falls, I gotta say. That was super close there for the Hellcurt, but I think they're gonna go for round 2 here on the bottom lane. Cat's gonna be killer going down nearby a tower, not gonna be enough to defend, with another trade on the top lane for Dilar. Now that's gonna be push for push. These teams are basically doing the same things on opposite sides of the map, and just at different tempos. Like right now, faster tempo happening for ONIC PH with the tower takes. So far ahead, but looks like Aqua wants to equalize that a little bit with a tower take on the mid lane by himself.
I love the idea for ONIC PH right there. Cho really, showing himself and advancing towards the top, so that it kind of baited out the members of Blacklist. So that is also a good thing, because they managed to give Cho manages to give his members some space to go and have that control. And speaking of control right here, again, Dark Knight Falls is going to be used, but unfortunately was not able to get anyone down. And, really transitions to objective taking right here and proceeds to the middle side of the lane. Blazing Duet will be used. Look at that, tons of damage right there. I love that beautiful damage output from the Claude. It only means, Rockhart, that the Claude was able to utilize all the resources take during the time that they were at a very, forwarded position.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you have a turtle buff on the Claude, you have a red buff on the Claude. That's mostly all you need, and then you add on some pretty good farm. 5, 0, and 2 onto Aqua. That means a absolutely beast of a Claude that we have. Golden Staff, Demon Hunter Sword, the Raptor's Machete already completed on the way to Endless Battle. The bottom lane, though, looks like they are going to be shuffling around here on the red buff. Very important to take that, but looks like it will be Sacrificial Lamb there. Dexstar going to be flickering out, but not going to be in time. Dark Knight Falls again, used defensively.
I mean, the transition from using the Dark Knight Falls to offense or defense is something that one has to take into consideration, because this is also one of these strategies that Blacklist can really take advantage. Like what we've just seen earlier, Riddler right here really use it defensively, like you mentioned. And, you know, this is also good mind games, because come the late game, and he might use it once more, you know, this can put ONIC PH on a position where they have to think, is this going to be used defensively once more? Or would they use this again in a different manner? But going back, it looks like in terms of getting these scales, Aqua has it on point. But I think Wise here, specifically the carry, just needs a bit more space or a bit more scaling potentials. And I think that would be best if this carry or one of the members can actually go and, you know, split push it, to me.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Wise has a lot of catching up to do. Especially considering he just completed the Raptor's Machete a few moments ago. And Aqua, I think he's on the road to 4 items here already. And on the claw, that is super scary. I gotta say, I like how Blacklist is looking here really good again, against all odds, against all predictions here, against a composition that ONIC PH has been running basically forever this season. They're doing really great. Just yet. Although, of course, Aqua already flexing that he is, like, way ahead. He's gonna go ahead and solo that Lord real quick, puts it down to half HP. Now, where are the members here? Again, only D-Lar. The rest of the squad here for ONIC is on the tail. Lord will be going down here with no contest here from the blue side. And looks like, basically, resources just being traded. Blacklist this time with a 4K gold lead.
Yes, and that's the beauty of it. The Kagura, the Kufra, alongside with the Hellcrit earlier, was able to contain the members of ONIC PH in a manner wherein the Claude and the Thoms was able to get the Lord really smoothly and uncontested, like you mentioned. And now they are placing themselves in the position that, you know, I think they would start picking off the members of ONIC PH one by one. Then, you know, just really snag some resources to and from.
Yeah, being resources is what we were talking about earlier when ONIC was, you know, way ahead despite being low on kills. But right now, because of the control and the lead that this Claude has, they're already taking back the resources that was stolen from them, basically, with Blacklist International just forcing everyone to be super scared on the map. They're not even showing their faces right now. They're just hiding.
Yes.
And it's working out really well for them so far.
Indeed. I like it how they could get that concealing abilities right now. They're just really hiding on their turf and waiting for this Lord to add more pressure in terms of, you know, the pushing capabilities that Blacklist has gained by getting those resources. And then again, successfully breaking that middle turret and go back here. The Lord was not able to really go all the way, but it's enough space to get that Claude to really expose the base of ONIC PH. And now going back, I like it. I like this strategy that Blacklist is giving us right now, that they're not really going on an aggressive side, Rockhard.
Yeah, they're just taking it slow. They're going for a slow 2-lane push here, mid lane and top lane. Top lane going down because of Lord pressure. Bottom lane is already pretty much controlled as well, so mid lane might be the big problem here. Dexstar going in hard into 4 people! Only caught 2 into a stun, but that will be enough! Opens up the base here of ONIC PH with a pretty solid 2-man removal there, and Dexstar pretty confident with the plays he's making.
Yes,
Aqua
it is
Red.
placing to it.
Good
Will be
damage
picking
output.
off. Oh my goodness, this is just your cup of tea for the side of Blacklist International. Really picking off the members of ONIC PH one by one. And I think they will be finishing this Raw Cartel Grid for another pickoff right here. Wise won't be able to make it wisely as Blacklist International steals game number 1.
Steals is